camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe, never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Come on, set, 50, plant.
Coming this way, here we go.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the gun, Walker. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Break.
Mike 5-4. I got you, son.
Snap.
They will run for the first time here with White. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 23 yards the pickup there.
First down, Lions.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Back to throw. Walker. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Get in the weight room. Watch the ship.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
On second down, it's Cook. And 3 yards there, takes him to the 45.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here we go.
On third down, Griffin. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run with Penny here out of the shotgun. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Looking to throw. Walker. He's got White here. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So a change in possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're open to do it consistently here. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of 1st downs, and here a loss of yardage.
Hey, lock it. 5.
Now on 2nd and 13. Griffin, and this one hauled in by Rudolph. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
To throw on third down, Griffin. Room to run past midfield. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 41-yard line.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll let this go for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw again, Griffin. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And the ball is knocked out, and the Lions have recovered.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover.
Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Detroit. Caleb Wilson, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or 2 today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or 2? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Down. 10-2 soft.
And come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Rock it. Step.
Here's Griffin. Lets it fly for Thielen. And got his man complete. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Ready?
Now Griffin on 1st down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. On second down, they'll run with White. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. He needed a yard. That's what he got. And it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulder square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Got it.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, tight down. There you go.
Walker off the play fake. He'll get this one to Galladay. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Here we go.
He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Here's Walker on 1st and 10. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Go now. 18.
Now Walker from the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hockenson, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Let's go. 18 Gator. 54.
Go. Check. Kill. Mike,
Deep grip.
Walker now, operating from the gun. Throwing deep for Galladay. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And down he he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Malik Collins breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Operating from the gun. Walker looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
On the ready.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the 27, Griffin. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Griffin to throw. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's 3rd and short.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determine that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner.
We go! 70, Indy.
Here we go, D, get off the field.
Here's White. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They go right back to White here on first down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. To throw is Walker. throwing on first down. And his throw here's incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Throwing again. Walker. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. They had points on their first 2 possessions, a touchdown and a field goal, but this time defense stands strong.
Would you say that things maybe are trending now in the right direction for them?
Better than drives 1 and 2.
There's no doubt about it. Now maybe they can exhale a little bit, gather themselves, and really get back into this game.
It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Check 37, check 37.
Five.
Walker from the gun, he'll throw. Throwing deep for Galladay. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
No.
Hey, foxtrot.
Here's Walker to throw again. He's going to let this one go deep. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley.
Intercepted, baby. All day.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 2-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
I'm coming after you.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. He was brought down by Eric Wilson.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt return. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And that had far too much air under it. It's out of the back of the end zone. And the football will come out to the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Griffin. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That one good for 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
90 Wolf. Who that?
He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Griffin, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man.
2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
55, check, 55, Mike. Silver.
Throwing on 2nd down. Walker. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Collins, his 2nd sack of the night.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the Lions' 42-yard line.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
They're going to need some therapy after this. Whip. Watch the whip.
Now it's Griffin. And he fires one incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10.
All day, every day, any day.
Out of the gun, Griffin. Going deep for Diggs. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now. Switch.
To throw again, Griffin. The open man here, Renfro. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Once again, Griffin setting up the screen for Cook. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Smith!
I got you.
Get it!
Griffin will throw again. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. To throw again is Griffin, and Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Well, they got the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day.
They keep it on the ground. White again. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. 1st down, here's White. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run with White. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
On the ready.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Check. Crunch.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Walker. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 18.
And the Lions.
Come on, set. 15, line. 15 line.
Win championship, baby. Slam, slam, slam.
They'll run on 1st down. It's White, and they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Walker, off play action. Open man is Galladay, complete. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Switch it. Get it.
The quick slant caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay, his first touchdown of the new season, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. 17-17 the score, all even to this point as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's going to take this all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Well, so much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes, even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Hey, Sam off.
From the gun, it's Griffin. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down.
Watch his flat. Watch his flat.
Hey, Charlie.
Mike 51. He's tired of you.
What? Lee Griffin.
They'll try and throw for it with Griffin. And he's going to go down again. Trey Flowers. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied 4th quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of the time, the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game 4th quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting.
Let's go, D.
On 1st down, it's White. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run on 1st down. White, and he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Ready! 60 Pittsburgh. Twist on, grab it.
They stay on the ground with White. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
And it's 3rd down.
Drake.
55 to Mike. Check. 55 to Mike. So don't say nothing.
5.
55. Mike 55. Check. Nick.
On the ball.
Walker now from the gun on 3rd down. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big 1st down.
Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect.
70, Indy.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our
Go. Shoot.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Trey Flowers in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Let's go.
51 to Mike. Yo.
Get it.
Here's Griffin. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Man up, deep. He's coming.
Griffin to throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Let's go. 15 line.
Check.
Hey, lock it.
Check.
Let's go.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
At the 40-yard line.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Watch time. Tight end right. Rock it. Hit it.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Intended for Adam Thielen. Incomplete. Brings up a third down and 10 yards to go.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. 4 seconds to go. This would send us to overtime. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Lions, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.